Alright friends, it's Soup Sunday. I'm going to do beef vegetable. It's a family favorite around here. Pardon me if I don't have my normal sunny disposition, but I've been on antibiotics for a fucking week. Alright, so what you want to do is start with a big old heavy bottom pan. It's 7.5 quarts, cast iron enamel. Put down a little olive oil and come in. This is just stew meat from the grocery store. Now, you can get it, sometimes it's finer than other. Some of this I diced up smaller just so it would be easier to eat later. Now we're going to do this in batches, y'all. I want to create a fond. I want to put color on the meat. So this goes down. I'm going to let it sear, and then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to take it out, put my next batch on. Round two, and something I forgot to mention, salt and pepper on your beef. Of course, while the beef is browning, I'll get my mirepoix ready. I already did my carrots, celery. So I'm going to put frozen veg in this as well. But I always do carrot, celery, and onion. Always. Staple. Up next is the onion. As you can see, the beef is giving off quite a bit of liquid. We want that. We're just going to reserve it right over here. And when we get our soup assembled, it's going to go right back in the pot. Alright, so I put a little more oil in, set my meat aside. I'm going to go in with my carrots, celery, and onion. So my mirepoix is about halfway there. I'm going to go in with some green cabbage. Beef vegetable, you can really put whatever you want in there. We like cabbage a lot in our soup and stew around here. Also, I found some spinach in the fridge that was a little bit wilted, but not slimy or anything. So that's going to go in too. Why not? And really, there's no rules to this stuff, guys. You go in there, if you got a couple peppers left over, you got some corn, some peas, anything you got. Just, it'll work. You can make it work. Whenever I make a soup, I don't like it thin. I like to have a little bit of body to it. So I'm going to dust these veggies with some flour. When I add my liquid later, it's just going to help it along. It's going to help it thicken a little bit. Not a whole lot, maybe it's going to be a tablespoon total, a little more, something like that. And you just want to cook that flour out. It's also a great time to hit it with some tomato paste. Also going to give it some body and some slow cook feel. Just going to cook that out for about a minute, then I'm going to add some red wine. Alright, so it's been a couple minutes with the tomato paste and the flour cooked out. Now what we have here is just looking kind of ugly. Kind of dry looking. If you look at the bottom, it's getting a little crusty. That's alright. That's all that flavor packed in there. I'm going to come in with about a half a bottle of red wine. This is a blended red. Just as long as it's drinkable. Use whatever you like. But yeah. I slid off the heat because this big old cast iron pan is getting really hot. But that wine is going to help release everything that's stuck to the bottom. And you're talking about max flavor down there. It's going to be dope. By the way, you could have done everything I just did minus the beef. And I mean the tomato paste, the red wine, everything, and had a beautiful vegetable soup. Just add, I'm going to add some beef broth and some chicken stock, but you could just add vegetable stock or even water. And, you still just got a killer veggie soup. Alright, so my wine is pretty much reduced by half. The bottom of my pot is scraped clean. So it's time to wrap things up a little bit. I'm going back in with my beef and all my juices. That's first. Then I got some beef consomme here. It's just a can of, I was going to use it for a different dish. I ended up not needing that much, so I had a can in my pantry. It's basically like a fortified beef stock. It's really good. Let me see here. Sorry, I didn't have everything laid out. Tomato juice. Up next is my veggies from the freezer. Just a mixed bag of whatever you dig. This is corn, peas, green beans, and carrots. And a little bit of chicken stock. Now I'm going to bring this up to a simmer. And then that'll let me know how thick it's going to be and if I need to add more stock. Alright, so I got it up to a simmer. And I don't think I need to add any more liquid. Matter of fact, I'm going to cook this at a simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes and let it reduce a little bit. It's not going to make much difference, but it will. And then I'm going to add some of my finishers that really, if you're not familiar with these videos and you haven't watched me do them before, this will take any soup to a next level. Anything that's not a cream or white-based soup, a couple tricks I do at the end will really just take it to another level. So I'll show you that when we come back. A soup like this is prime time to use some dry herbs, so I'm using some parsley and oregano. You can use them or not use them, doesn't matter. You can use fresh herbs. The next are the big boys: Worcestershire, mushroom soy sauce, and fish sauce. Now, these are the heavy hitters. And the reason I say heavy hitters is because they're going to provide what's called umami, and that's just that rich, savory, just takes it to another level flavor. Anything beef like this and fish sauce always get along really well. Mushroom soy is just fortified with flavor. It just adds a richness, and pretty much the same thing for Worcestershire. They're all doing the same thing. It's just different notes. Same with the tomato paste I used earlier. So I'm going to show you how much we put in. All right, dried parsley. Dried herbs tend to be stronger than their fresh option. Dried oregano. Mushroom soy. A couple glugs. Here, a couple glugs. And here's your big boy, fish sauce. Now, if you're new to fish sauce, don't go crazy. It is pungent, but it is so delicious. You'll smell it in the soup, but you won't be able to pick out the taste. I know that sounds weird, but it just takes it to another level. So, so good. If you're used to Thai cooking or anything like that, then you're familiar with fish sauce. There we have it, folks. I might hit it with a little bit of black pepper, but she's good after that. There you have it, friends. That's your beef veg soup. Now, like I said, that's a staple around here. It's a soup that we love. I made probably 5 or 5.5 quarts right there. It's great for freezing. You can put it in a mason jar and freeze it. It holds up really good. It's great to share with your friends and your neighbors. Feed somebody, treat them right.